Lincoln.
There's nothing like the view from the cheap seats.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM. We're streaming live on the web at WLCNonline.com and WLCNsports.com. Follow us on Twitter at WLCN Sports and on Facebook. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, Lloyd Kirby, Jim Ash with you this morning at Lincoln IGA, where the one of our local churches is having a bake sale. So if you need a cake or a pie, or you get that sweet tooth you need to take care of, come on to Lincoln IGA and pick you up a cake. Jake?
Yeah, what do you think? You gonna try to take one of those home on your bike today? Could be interesting.
That could be real interesting.
I'd follow you in the Suburban videoing you.
How about if I put my bicycle on the back of the Suburban and you give me a ride home?
I guess we could make something like that happen, I'm sure.
But yeah, we're at the Lincoln IGA. A lot of people flocking through here right now. Got the sun shining right on old Jacob's back.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you're Mary Poppins today.
Yep.
Very intuitive. Get the old umbrella out.
Pull out the umbrella.
If you get here earlier, we talked about a little bit about this before. Jim gets here and sets up.
Yeah.
He's gotten very wise.
He is getting to the point that
he's right by the
he's right by the ice chest.
And
out of the sun.
Yep. So yeah, he's
got this figured out.
He's really getting wise.
He's not going to stage it so he's the one in the sun. That's a fact. Oh, look at this.
Looky here.
Well, all right.
We just got a plate of goodies.
A plate of goodies from our church folks here. Looks like we got chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
Delicioso. Delicious. These might not make it to the commercial break.
Now for our update, Jake is going to update us on the World Cup.
Well, Scotty, back to the World Cup. Wow, you threw that at me. And you know what? I've got nothing. I've got nothing right now.
Why would you?
Well, it's the World Cup. It's fun. Germany got knocked out.
Yeah, that did
and
happen.
The folks there in the German town area are not too happy about it, I'm guessing.
The German towners, they are very displeased right now.
They're displeased. They're saying this is one of the worst showings they've had ever. And they're talking about burning down the German town.
They're tearing down the wall.
Nope, they're not going to take it anymore.
They're not going to take it anymore. Them Germans.
Not happy.
Nope. Do we even know who's still playing? Argentina's probably still.
I think France actually may have knocked out Argentina. Who else you got?
It's the USA playing? USA.
We didn't even make the tournament, man.
You have to make it?
You have to make the tournament.
Oh.
We didn't. No.
What do you have to do? Is there like a pre-tournament tournament?
Yeah, there's pool play type thing where you play into it and you've got to win. And I think the U.S. gets thrown in with
Are you
Mexico
just making stuff up? Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
They get thrown in with Mexico and Argentina and places like that, and it's bad.
So USA soccer's bad.
Not good.
Not good.
I could have a friend of the program. We'll call him.
Oh yeah,
have him call in.
You have a friend?
He has all the info on this.
A buddy?
You could call him a buddy. I can show you a video of him with a stag beetle later. It's hilarious.
All right. Can we put that on the website? Or is it?
You know what? Yes, we could. And he used to play on our softball team. Actually, he was on the team when our favorite cameraman Lloyd Kirby pitched his perfect game.
Nice.
He's our favorite Lloyd Kirby cameraman.
Well, back to soccer. I know it's really starting to get big here in Lincoln. I know we have a couple soccer clubs. So it's getting pretty big.
Some nice fields out there behind
Walmart. But it's getting big. The popularity's growing. So hopefully that kind of changes the future of USA Soccer, because that's just that's one of the sports that's a worldwide sport where everybody can relate. And if you watch some of the games, like for instance France, Argentina, I guess,
or them Russians when they were playing or whatnot, playing in Russia. The crowds are
Well, that's
definitely
where it's at
into
now,
it.
isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
the World
they're
Cup
playing
in Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Russian team, of course, was playing out of their minds for a few games, and the crowd was into it big time. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. And, you know, I remember back in, was it 2000, I want to say 2006.
All right, say it.
I'm going to say it. Probably wrong, but Jeff got married in Jamaica. So we were down there for that in Jamaica, and they had soccer
They
on.
play soccer down there nonstop.
And you have obviously people from all over the world at this resort, and in the lobby they would all, you know, conjourn or whatever the word I'm looking for right there, and you know it's just crazy, and people really getting into it. We were there with some guys from England.
You are a man of many words,
and it was fun, you know, because you get to see. You know, it's just kind of it was a pretty cool experience.
I just had a friend's daughter playing in, I believe, Puerto Rico. And then I also had some family, their daughters were playing in Jamaica, actually, at a youth soccer tournament type thing. And
that's cool.
It sounds really cool. They were doing a little bit of missionary work as well as going out and playing some long days in soccer. I tell you what. What they said is, you know, it's a totally different world when you go and you start playing against people that all they do is play soccer. They're walking down the road, they're kicking a soccer ball. They're going to school, they're kicking a soccer ball. Yeah. That's what they do, you know. I said, you know, it's interesting how close Jamaica is to the United States and how much different it is. You know, here we may be playing basketball or, you know, baseball or something like that, but
the other football.
Yeah, the other football, but there, that's all they play. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, they take that stuff serious.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because that's their sport. Over here, like you said, we've got baseball, basketball, football, even hockey, and all kinds of stuff. But overseas, soccer's it, man.
Well, all you got to do is have a ball, and you can put a couple rocks for where your goal is, and go to kick, you know.
Is that something that you ever played growing up? Because I never did.
No.
And I couldn't tell you two things about soccer.
I can tell you my good friend, class of 95, John Loha, he was good at soccer. Dale Miller, a few of the other guys, and they had me practice with them a few times. And I wasn't any good.
No. Now, my kids played like at the YMCA level, you know, back when they were just little farts. And as they got older, the interest went away. And I couldn't tell you the rules or, you know, I don't even know how many people are out on the field. I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah.
And so maybe we need to get a soccer guy on here sometime as a guest. If you want to be a guest on the Cheap Seats.
And you know anything about soccer. Maybe have one of the coaches from the high school on here.
Yeah, I mean
the soccer season for
boys, our guest getter.
The boys' soccer season's coming up, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
no,
they play in the fall.
They do?
Yeah, the boys play in the fall, girls play in the spring.
Okay. Well, we need to get the high school coach.
Because last year we had the boys on.
Well,
they had a nice season last year, real nice season, and one of their best players got hurt. If I'm thinking right,
and we talked a little bit about that.
Yeah,
year,
I think we had him on the show.
Yeah,
so
but
that was a good.
You know, if we could get our guest getter to do his job, or
even show up.
I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row. This is unacceptable.
With prior notice of being approximately 2 minutes, which is about the time he usually shows up.
Average. Yeah, it's you know, so. But that's our World Cup news.
And we're back.
And we are back. So now that LeBron James is a free agent,
I think he may be going to the NFL.
He's going to the NFL as a tight end.
Who is it? The Los Angeles Rams are one LeBron to stop in and try out.
Oh yeah,
that's what they're saying.
I got a little funky stuff going on here with my.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I just scooted over a couple feet, but
there we go. Maybe that worked. But yeah, that's silly.
Maybe. But is it any more silly than thinking Michael Jordan's gonna go ahead and leave his world champion Chicago Bulls to play baseball for the Chicago White Sox?
Well,
is that any more silly?
A little bit. I mean, you're talking.
It was silly. He should have stayed in the NBA.
Yeah, but some of the scouts said that if he would have stuck with it, he would have made it to the majors. I mean, he played a couple games with the White Sox?
No, I don't think
he
so.
never did?
I think spring training he did,
Okay.
but I don't believe.
Well, they say he's just such a good athlete that if he would have stuck with it for another year or two, he would eventually
I don't think
made
so.
it. No?
No.
Well, that's not what I said.
Big holes in his swing. I remember watching.
He just made it because of his name, and they sold a lot of tickets.
He was. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a hell of an athlete, but there's a big difference between
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Those sports.
They gave him the opportunity because he was Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And I tell you what it did do. It boosted the minor league system's tickets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was
and he was
sellouts.
out there signing autographs and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Free autographs, and it's Michael Jordan. I will tell you a two-sport athlete that has a chance though. Tim Tebow. I'm not saying he's still got a big long swing, but I tell you what, he makes contact. There's a different sound to that ball. He hammers that thing, and
he made
the All-Star team for AA, I believe. And he has a shot still. He's right there.
The Mets are so bad right now that don't be surprised if he's called up after the All-Star break, or even when rosters expand.
Yeah,
what's that? September.
Yep, September call-ups.
September call-ups. Don't be surprised if he's not called up because they're wanting to put fans in the seats. Now the Mets are not real good.
He's not on. I was going to say he's not on the 40-man roster, so
not?
I don't know if I would guarantee that. But at the same time, if the Mets make a couple big trades, which there's talks of them doing that, you're looking at maybe Harvey getting moved.
Harvey's already gone.
Maybe DeGrom getting moved.
Harvey's with Cincinnati.
Yeah, DeGrom getting moved. Cespedes maybe going. I mean, I can see them making some moves.
You see them cleaning house.
If they
going to break up that pitching staff,
you know what? With the return you could get on your investment, and with all the youth movement moving across Major League Baseball, I would say that's a strong possibility.
But the Mets still have a little bit of a window right there if you keep that pitching staff together. If you break them up, I mean, you're talking rebuild. You're talking 4 or 5 years. They still have a little window.
Not necessarily, not anymore. Not with this young pitching staff movement that I feel like the Major League Baseball's done. Major League Baseball is saying, okay, if we're on the cusp but we're not there, sell it off, get as many young players as we can, try to get young pitching. We're going to throw those young pitchers in earlier than what they should have been, and we're going to try to make a run at it and see what happens. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Mets are on the verge of having some extra money to start actually shelling it out there and maybe bring in some free agent talent. On top of it, if they can get a couple young guys that are cheap, would be a good way to go.
Well,
they have not drafted overly well the last couple years.
No, but they have put their pitching staff pretty solid. Starters anyway. The bullpen kind of questionable right now, but it's going to be an interesting couple 2 or 3 weeks down the road here because was it July 31st is the trade deadline, and where you got the All-Star break coming up here. There's a lot of talk of Machado on the move. Where's he going to go? They're saying L.A. right now is the front runner there.
And I don't see that. You got, what was his name, Justin Turner there, and then
he's at third.
And then at short,
they lost their starter, Seager. He's out for the year.
Is he out for the year?
Yeah,
he's done. I thought he was going to be back.
But they brought up that young kid. I can't think of his name right now, but he's kind of filled in there nicely. But
the thing is LA going to want to give up because you're going to have to give up something good for
LA. What's
probably going to be 3 months.
They don't have a problem with that, but do they have enough to give up? What does their farm club look like?
Well, but
do they have prospects?
That's my question. You're going to have to overpay for him, and I'm telling you right now, I don't care where he signs or where he goes, he is going to sign for the most money he can get, and it's probably going to be $300+ million.
Absolutely.
So what team's going to pay him that?
Well, there's teams that'll do it.
I think St. Louis might be in on that.
You think they're
I think they're willing to throw out a max contract worth $300 million.
And they need
to the right player.
Right.
And the only players that are worth that may be worth that kind of money would be him and Harper.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the only two.
Right.
Because they're still young enough to say, okay, 10 years, they're going to be 36? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 36.
And that's why, I feel that this offseason, it could be another offseason we had last year, waiting for the market for these two people to go first.
I think they're done quick. I think they're done quick. Yeah, I think those two, because those contracts are going to come in, and the teams are going to throw their best number they can out. And I don't think those numbers are going to change. I don't think they're going to go up. I think they're going to be in a bidding war. They know they're going to be in a bidding war, so they're going to say, okay, this is what we're going to give you. Throw it on the table. Doesn't work, they're going to have to walk away. Angels might be jumping in there too. Even with Pujols' contract, I think they still might jump in and try to spend some more money.
Well, they have their stud that they just signed, who he's probably out
Trout.
The pitcher Shahanti.
Yeah,
he's done for the season. I don't know if he's going to have Tommy John. It's kind of in the talks right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's kind of been hush-hush.
It's kind of an odd way of doing it. I've never really seen that where he needs Tommy John, but we're exploring. It's like, well, if you explore too long, that's going to be 2 seasons.
2 seasons, yeah. So, hey, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more baseball. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM.
Too early.
Well, we're not going to play the whole song.
Wait for it.
We wait for it.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Who am I to disagree?
Well, you know what? One thing you could disagree with, this plate of cookies, if you can zoom in on that, Lloyd, was
Come on, Lloyd, put the phone away.
prior to the commercial break.
Yes,
Now-
the ladies from Cumberland Presbyterian brought these over. How you like that? Brought these plate of cookies over.
Good job of pronouncing that
Thank you
properly.
very much. Thank you very much.
And we have made short work of them.
Mitch Trubisky's in the house.
Yep. Mitch, good to see you in here today.
Getting you some groceries at IGA.
At the old guy.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM. We are at Lincoln IGA for their annual
Fun in the sun.
Fun in the sun.
Fun in the sun.
We're just
sale.
here because it's AC, and Jim's got him a prime spot right now.
Jim's right in front. He keeps opening the door of that freezer unit.
He's looking for his winter coat, and but it's all good. But we are at the Lincoln IGA. So come on down. Get you the ladies here. They've got cakes for sale, pies, baked goods,
cakes
and it looks like they're dwindling down. They don't have a whole lot left.
They are moving some products.
They're all decorated for the 4th of July.
All the boxes underneath the table are all gone.
They're sold.
At the start of the show, they were full.
Yeah.
So
the table, I would say there's probably a dozen things left up there, maybe.
Yeah, they're probably. I would say that far
maybe
table is going to be empty here very soon.
So the baked goods are flying off the table. And,
I tell you what, if you have a 4th of July party, those cakes would be perfect, decorated exactly.
Let me tell you something, Jake. If I took the cake home now, it would not make the 4th of July partay.
Well, if your partay was tonight,
well then it
still may not make it.
Remember, I'm on my bicycle.
I see what you did with these cookies.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Plus, I don't know the odds of them making it home with me one-handed on a bicycle. I mean, I can barely steer the thing with two.
What street? Hey, we could have a little wager here. What street will he be dropping this cake on? Huh?
Well, what street's right out in front of us here? Pulaski.
Pulaski.
I'm going to probably guarantee that once I pull on Pulaski,
I say you have to turn. You have to go right then left every other street.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
Head over there near college and peek, and we'll.
You know, if you send Domino's a picture of potholes, they'll come fix it. Have you seen that commercial? No. Have you seen that? Where Domino's, the commercial is, you don't want to go buy a Domino's pizza and get home and it'd be all mango because of the potholes. Well, they say send them a picture and they could possibly come fix it.
Update on
Shohei Ohtani. I'm getting really good with my pronunciations, Lloyd. See, he can't even.
So he had a grade 2 urinary collateral ligament sprain in his right elbow, which is going to make it so he's not going to throw the rest of the year. However, he has been cleared to start swinging the bat.
Now, Jake, you don't like that idea.
I do not. I do not like the idea of him hitting.
No,
I feel like he is a pitcher. I think he's a money pitcher, and I feel like him hitting is putting extra stress on him. Maybe, okay, hitting isn't the same as swinging a bat. I understand that. However, if you're rushing your pitching to get to your hitting,
right,
that can cause a problem. You don't want that in your pitcher. You need your pitcher to be dominant. And, you can say whatever you want. If you have a dominant pitcher, you're going to be a lot better off. I feel like he could be that. He's still only 23 years old. Let him get healthy, and then let him get back out there pitching and cut this stuff off with him hitting.
Yeah. Now,
it makes no sense.
You think?
I think at best he's a 15 to 21 home run hitter.
Yeah.
At best, at DH, not good enough.
Well, this day and age, pitching is all mechanics. Now, when you got a guy out there that he's focusing a lot of his attention on his mechanics of hitting, sometimes that takes away from your mechanics of pitching because you got two separate things. And if you get your mechanics off a little bit, that's when injuries start happening because your arm slot may be different than what you're used to, and it's putting strain on that elbow, and then there you go.
You might be a little more tired because out there trying to hit a couple dingers and or trying to hit the ball the other way and use some extra muscles. But, on top of that, it just takes your focus away what you should be doing, and you should be focused on pitching.
And then he's coming over, obviously, from Japan. It's two different different leagues.
Yeah.
And obviously, baseball over here is a little more superior than over there. And, it takes that extra mindset or that, an extra 3 or 4 miles per hour on your fastball, or
a better breaking ball,
location is probably more of a factor. But
not only that, but you're also seeing a lot more pitching.
Walking in front of the camera and improves the shot.
Yeah.
How you doing?
But in Major League Baseball, compared to Japanese or Korean baseball, a big difference is the starters don't go 7 or 8 innings. A lot of times they're only going 5, and they'll switch them up and bring in 4 different relievers between there and the 9th inning. I mean, you'll see that a lot in Major League Baseball. A hitter's got to be able to change his game to face those. You may be righty-righty at the start of the game, then you're righty-lefty next to the bat. Your next bat after that, you might be righty-lefty again or righty-righty. I mean, constant change, constant flow change.
And there's so many analytics in baseball this year. These other teams know the pitcher's tendencies. They know their weaknesses. So, when you're second time, third time through the lineup, the pitcher has to adjust to the batters as well because they know what's coming. So that's another thing that, could factor into that where,
I'd take a dominant pitcher over a dominant hitter.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I believe they may have that with him, and I just feel like he needs to be healthy and he needs to be their pitcher. Now, if you disagree with me, feel free to call in
737-3791.
But I would definitely want to get him away from that. Like I said, I believe 15 to 22 home runs, 21 home runs is what I would project him to be, even as he's getting stronger. I mean, I know he's only 23. But is that good enough to be your designated hitter? I don't think in the American League, especially American League West, I don't think that's good enough.
Not when you've got the hitters that you have there at LA. And if you could put a DH hitter in there that's going to get you 30, 40 home runs and an OBP.
How much has that taken away from Albert this year, knowing that he has to play first more?
Right.
And how hard is that on his feet? Because that's really what it is. It's his feet. It's not even his legs. How hard is that on his feet? And taking that away from a bat to bat.
Right.
I mean, that may have taken 3 or 4 home runs off his plate.
Absolutely. If you think you bring Albert in as a DH, he's saving himself, not playing the field.
I think it's 25 to 35.
Yeah. And, maybe put him out there, maybe once a week or so, just to keep him fresh, keep him out there,
in case you're playing interleague game or something. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, and I guess that's why we're here on the cheap seats and not managing a baseball.
Well, there you go.
Because
But I am available.
Let's do a dual managing, concept. Me and Jake. Anybody out there willing to?
I feel like that's going to be a lot more work for Jake on this part of it. Scott can be the pretty.
I want to get on the coattails and ride, all right? Come on.
Scott can be the pretty. He's the one that sits in front of the camera, and I'll just sit behind him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say the stupid stuff, and you can say the smart stuff. How's that?
I don't think that'll work either.
No. It's working right now. Kinda. Some of the results last night. Boy, Lloyd, your Phillies took one on the chin, my friend.
Tell you what, they haven't been playing that bad a ball, though.
They have.
Compared to what the expectations for the old Fighting Phil was, I don't know, man. They seem pretty exciting. They may be just a couple players away.
Let's see. I had it pulled up here. Come on.
Uh-oh. Meanwhile.
What we got going on here? Had it all set up to talk about, and now
nothing.
Lost it. There we go. There we go, Lloyd.
And we're back.
17-7. 10-run rule, mercy rule. They just say, let's quit. Yeah, in Philly. Yeah, I saw you post that. Sponsored by Xfinity. Yeah. So yeah, they took one of the chids. The Cubs, they had a little in-house meeting with Chili Davis after their little debacle, I guess.
Yep.
Had a little closed-door meeting about hitting, and ever since then they're averaging 8 runs per game. Yesterday they beat the Twins 10-6. We talked a little bit about Yu Darvish's setback with him with his elbow.
Yeah.
Through.
How big of a deal for you as a Cub fan is that? Does it have you a little bit worried, thinking maybe they need to make a move now at the trade deadline?
Well,
as it's looming.
I don't know, because they haven't really came out and said how serious it is. He had a cortisone shot yesterday.
It's in his shoulder, right?
Elbow.
It is his elbow. Okay.
So they're saying it's an impingement, which that sounds better than tear.
Yeah. Well,
so I mean, it's hard to say right now.
Have elbows.
Yeah. He threw in a minor league game, looked good, and then a day or two after, he said when he was kind of doing his bullpen session, when he extended his arm, he felt pain.
Okay.
So.
But the question is still there. As a fan, are you worried?
A little bit, because the Tyler Chatwood experience has not been good. They thought they found maybe a little lightning in a bottle right there. He's got good stuff.
I tell you what, it feels like he's a start away from figuring it out.
I'm hoping so.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping right, because he's got excellent stuff. He just cannot locate his pitches.
The Cardinals seem like they had that guy every couple years as well. Walker was like that last year. You're thinking he's just a game away, and then you're going to see something happening. Mm-hmm. And it kept coming. And it's like, when's it going to happen? And this year with Carlos Martinez, he'll have a game, you're like, all right, he's back. And then the next game, you're like, what the world just happened? You know? Do you get that feeling? At least you guys have Lester there.
I'm not panicked yet, because we have Lester. Hendricks is struggling a little bit, but I'm sure he'll figure it out, just because he's a intelligent pitcher. Quintana, he's kind of been a question mark as well. He's not really what they thought he would be, but Madden's teams are always second half teams. So am I panicked right now? No, because they're probably going to make a move or two.
They're only 2.5 games out.
Only 2.5 out, and
now does it worry you with Milwaukee how loaded their farm system is? What they're going to bring in?
Yes and no, because they need some work too. Yeah, they're winning right now, but that's also because the Cubs just got swept by Cincinnati, and if that series goes a little different, the Cubs could be sitting in first. But hindsight, whatever, all that blah blah blah, they're not. But
we have a caller on the line.
We have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. Who are we talking with?
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Good, man.
We're doing good.
Hey,
I'm doing good too.
It does. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, and bring me some cookies home too, Jake. So
these cookies aren't going to make it, but if you'd like, we can work that out.
Yeah. Hey, the whole thing with Darvish, and you know how big a Cubs fan I am. I'm kind of glad right now because I don't think that Darvish is the piece that we needed to start with. So I think Montgomery in there in place of him has been a much better trade-off. Yeah, he kind of got blasted a little bit yesterday in the heat, but overall, he's been doing a phenomenal job. And Scott, I got to disagree with you. Hendricks has been doing a great job, but when you don't get any run support, you're not going to win games. And most of his games, he has not had the run support that he needs.
Well, he's once he gets settled in, he's pretty good. He's been struggling in that first inning, giving up a lot of homers. But once he gets settled in, and more times than not, when he's starting, they're working behind. And he's not getting that run support as of
giving
before.
up a run or two in the first inning. And granted, he got just absolutely rocked in L.A. the other night.
Yeah,
but anybody's going to have that.
I was going to say that can happen. That can happen to anybody when L.A. catches fire, too.
Right, and that's like I said, I'm not worried about him because he's an intelligent pitcher. He'll figure it out. He's all about location. He's not going to blow a 95-mile-per-hour fastball by you because he just don't have that in his arsenal. But he's all about location, and he's going to figure it out. And I'm not worried if they get Darvish back after the All-Star break. That's just like another trade. And a healthy Darvish where he's pitching like he was
a healthy
before.
Darvish, because early in the season, Darvish was not impressive.
No, he was dry
starting out, and there probably was some physical issues with that to start with, but he was not what we thought he was going to end up being. Now, Chatwood, on the other hand, he has ended up being what we thought he was going to be because that kid he is all over the place. And some days you're going to get a really good Tyler Chatwood, and other days you're going to get a really bad Tyler Chatwood, and you just don't know which one's going to show up.
So, Dean, I'll ask you the question I asked Sky here. Are you worried about a move that Milwaukee may be making? So are you wanting to improve your club to maybe counteract that or be preemptive even?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And not even if Milwaukee doesn't make a move, I still feel that there's probably 1 to 2 pieces in the rotation, and most definitely in the bullpen that have to be made before the trade deadline. Because right now, even if you make it to the playoffs, you're not going to go deep in the playoffs with what they've got. Just a little side note on that: in the last 8 days, they have made 18 roster moves, and basically it's the bullpen on the shuttle bus back and forth to Des Moines.
And that's the thing, as summer goes along, that's when the bullpens start getting taxed, and you'll see more of that. And you're right, an upgrade in the bullpen can really change direction of a team. I mean, you look back at the Cardinals when they made a couple plays going through the playoffs, bringing Dotel in, I believe, Octavio Dotel, and a few other players, and boy, that spring-loaded them and shot them right into the World Series.
Somebody that I'm kind of intrigued with right now, and he's been doing pretty well, is that Bass. He came in yesterday and struck out the side. And
he's done a really good job.
Yeah,
wow, that's terrific pass.
And what are your thoughts on Justin Wilson? It seems like Madden's been trotting him out a lot lately. Are they trying to kind of see, where he's at? Do you trust him? Because when he was at Detroit, he was lights out, and ever since he's came over to Chicago, he struggled.
Early in the season, I would have told you yes, I trust him, because he started to show back to glimpses of Justin Wilson, of Detroit Justin Wilson that we traded for. But in the last couple of weeks, you're right, he got just rocked. And I shudder every time he comes in. It's kind of like when Hector Rondon used to come in. I would start to shudder because you didn't know what was going to end up happening.
Yeah, and
that's how we have been with Holland up until here as of recent. So,
Yeah, and it seems that they've been bringing him out a lot, and they've kind of been laying off Shishak, or is that, I can't pronounce his last name.
Shishak.
I think they overworked him the first quarter of the season, and they've kind of shut him down a little bit because I think they're going to rely on him a lot the second half.
It's not good for a sidearm thrower for his elbow to start hurting, because then his ball gets flat down the middle and it won't have any movement. You'll see balls get hit a long ways when that happens.
So
if he doesn't have any rise on that, then he's out to lunch.
Oh yeah.
So we're at the end of June now, and how you feeling about the Cubs overall?
I'm feeling better as far as the bats go. We were in a funk there for about a week and a half. Absolutely no runs whatsoever. But if you look at the way the bats are starting to come around, the one I am just absolutely ecstatic about right now is Justin Hayward.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy for the last almost 2 years you looked at and you're like, why are we paying him $180-some-odd million?
Yeah.
And if you look at him in the last 10 days to 2 weeks, now you understand why he's getting paid that kind of money.
He's figured it out, and Addison Russell's starting to come around as well. So those two right now have really been carrying the Cubs with Chris Bryant out. He's on the 10-day DL. Rizzo, he hasn't really been the Rizzo of past, and it's really been Addison Russell, Hayward, and then Baez, in there, with the occasional Almora.
A funny note on Jason Hayward. It's his walk year. That's all I got.
Oh, yeah?
It is.
Do you want him back, Jake?
It's his opt-out year. If he wants to opt out, he has that option.
But he's not.
There's no way he's going to opt out, in my opinion.
Absolutely
There's no
not.
way. But at the same time, isn't it funny? Every time he's up for a contract, he did it with Atlanta, he did it with St. Louis, and now it's his first chance to opt out now.
But this contract's in his hands.
Oh, yeah. It's all up to him.
Right.
But he could have feelers out there, and if it goes his way, then
there's not a whole lot of feelers.
But I don't see that. Yeah, I don't see it being worth that. No.
And if this is the Jason
Isn't
Hayward,
it funny?
It is. But if this is the Jason Hayward that we paid for, I don't have a problem with that, because
the problem is where has he been?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So, but hey, take it while you can get him.
I tell you what,
say
we don't need his hitting. We need his speeches.
That's exactly the season's kind of going almost as predicted down the line. I mean, almost every team out or analyst out there was saying, you got to watch out for Milwaukee. The Cubs should be right up there, and the Cardinals be right in the mix there as well. Cardinals don't quite have the bullets, I don't think, as constructed. But at the same time, boy, this season's really playing out almost as predicted all the way across the board.
Yep, it has.
Well, and if you look at it, it's almost mirroring last year.
Yeah.
And teams are in about the same spots, and predictions are if things in a couple of places fall into place like they did last year, it could get away. Yeah, I'm not.
You gotta like Milwaukee better this year than last year, though. Milwaukee's got so much better, a lot more contact hitters, a whole lot less strikeout guys, and much smarter defensive baseball is what they're playing, and that's why they're winning ball games more than anything.
Yeah, but it's Milwaukee.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like this Milwaukee team.
Well, that's because you don't like the Cubs.
No. Believe me, I don't like Milwaukee either because they're in the Central. But you know what? They're a team that is much more solid than they have been in the past.
Okay. Yeah, they got some things are looking up, and they are going to give the Cubs and the Cardinals. That's going to be a very strong division for years and years and years to come.
Yeah, that's what it's shaping up.
What?
Commercial break.
Oh, well, I guess we got to go to commercial break, Dean.
All righty.
Jake's giving me the cue. Thanks for calling in, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. Well, Jake's wanting a commercial break. I don't know why, but he's tired. He's winded. He has to use the restroom. I don't know, but we're going to take one just because we want to hear from our sponsors as well. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM. A little Fits and the Tantrums right there. Huh, you didn't think I knew that.
Beastie Boys.
Brass Monkey. That funky monkey. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM. And we've got a question out there to a weekly listener. Joel Vincent wants to know. Jake said he'd take top pitching over hitting. If he was starting a team and could pick any player that he wanted, would he take a pitcher such as Verlander, Scherzer? Let me finish. Whoever he thinks is the best pitcher over Mike Trout.
Sales.
Trout is on pace to have the best WAR in history or baseball, better than Babe Ruth's best WAR season. Would his choice depend on whether he was an American League team or National League team?
No, my choice is I want to win a World Series. Okay. I'll throw everything else out the window to win a World Series. Look, making the playoffs, that's great. Winning the World Series is something you remember for the rest of your life. Okay, I want to win a World Series. You don't win World Series without great pitching.
You want Chris Sale.
I want Chris Sale.
You're going to start a team right now.
I'll start my team right
Chris
now.
Chris Sale is
my
your number one pitcher.
Boom.
Okay. All right. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If
I could load my team up with pitchers, it'd be loaded, brother.
Well, I mean, that's hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know where I'm going here. I want to win a World Series. Mm-hmm. That's all I would care about. Anything else, having Hall of Famers on your team, that's all right too. But I'd rather win a World Series.
Okay.
And having Hall of Famers on your team, as you can see with Mike Trout so far, possibly greatest WAR in history.
Now let's take a look at some of the standings right now, Jake, if you would.
I'll get the pull of
where does the Angels, where do they lie in the West?
Currently,
because they have some solid hitting with Mike Trout.
Well, currently, Scotty, the Houston Astros lead the AL West with a 55-29, followed by Seattle at 2.5 games back, Oakland at 9.5 games back, and LA Angels at 12.5 back currently.
And
that's not going to get any closer.
Do we know the type of pitching that LA has? Because once again,
it's mediocre.
They've got some hitting. They don't have the pitching, and they're fourth in the division.
Yep. And you know what? Home runs, they may get some crowd pleasers out there. You might get those kids showing up to see a Mike Trout and to see an Albert Pujols, possible future Hall of Famers. Mm-hmm. I'd say Pujols already locked in. Trout, there's a good chance he's heading that direction. And I don't know if you can project what's going to happen to Trout as he moves along. Awfully young guy, but with his body size and body type and everything, how long do you see that lasting?
Is it going to break down?
I mean, you look at King Griffey Jr., mm-hmm. If you want to go into not too distant past, a guy that was on pace to be, 700 home run guy, body started breaking down, ended a little over 600.
Well, it's so hard to predict because one tore ACL, one injury, that could set you back.
Griffey slammed into the wall and snapped his ankle.
Right, that all that plays into the
and Trout plays hard.
Yeah,
I mean, love the guys as an athlete. Yeah, I'd love to have him on my team. Mm-hmm. But am I going to pick him over the chance of winning a World Series? No, I'm going to go after a World Series. I don't care about having Hall of Famers. I want to win a World Series.
So you're all about let's have elite pitching, and just kind of average hitting. You got to be a little bit above average.
You want to have a little bit above average with defense, and putting all those pieces together it would be the hard part. But at the same time, yes, I would.
Who would you say the favorite in baseball is right now? Houston.
Houston, possibly. I'm not going to want to go against Boston either, but Houston and Boston would be my two top.
Another kind of fact, this kind of ties in. Look at the Yankees. Look at their hitting.
Yeah, and they're tied with Boston in first place right now. And they do have some pitching as well.
Yeah, they do.
And a deep bullpen. A very deep bullpen.
Well, then that kind of just maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are starting to build their pitching staffs from the bullpen to the starter.
Well, they figure if you can get 5-6 innings out of your starter,
turn it over to your bullpen.
They're happy with that. Back in the day, you want your starter to go at least 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Bring your closer in 9.
Yeah, it's changed up a little bit.
The game of baseball has changed, and people are adapting to that. Look at Kansas City back in the day when they won a few years ago. If their starter got into the 5th, 6th inning,
game's over.
7, 8, 9 lights out with those, 3 guys in the bullpen right there.
But even that doesn't last long.
No, and it did.
You can't. Yeah,
And with free
2
agency
years,
and stuff
basically.
like that, and then it doesn't last long.
Yep.
There's a small window to go it that way. But if you can build a solid pitching staff, look at the Braves back in the day, where they had Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, and then your closer. Can't think of the name right now.
Couple different ones there. John Rocker, Tim Wall.
But you had your 3 top guys in that rotation where you go out on any given day, you're going to win. And you play a 3-game series and have to face all 3 of those guys, good luck.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, and that's why it's hard to go against Boston or Houston.
Right.
Pitching-wise, because, they throw up 3
and then as you move deeper into the season and get to the playoffs, you play a 5-game series, you got to face those 3.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough weekend.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
And, obviously things don't always work out the way you plan them, but
you always want those big bobbers too. They do make the game fun. Yeah, they're the most exciting.
What's the MLB want now? They want runs. They want it more exciting.
They want to see you hitting the ball. Yeah.
So is the ball juiced?
I'd be okay with that. I don't know.
Well, I think it is. I mean, look at.
I was a guy not too long ago that said they should just give everybody steroids and make them all be on it. But
here you go. You want steroids? You get steroids.
you get a shot.
You don't want them too bad. You need them. You're taking them.
That's exactly right.
So it's the game of baseball.
It looked like a softball. Like a slow pitch softball team coming up here.
Yeah, you want to use an aluminum bat? There we go. Boy, there would be some. Wow.
You'd have to have face masks on people.
Oh, boy. Could you imagine?
Oh, no, I can't. No.
Gosh.
No, I cannot.
That would be crazy. It'd be fun.
Lloyd knows how it was with those juiced bats and softballs back in the day. He was awfully up close and personal with them.
Probably looks like he took a couple off the face.
He doesn't remember that.
Face? Face?
What?
Yeah.
But you walk around the major leagues, you got the Yankees at 53 and 26, Boston at 55 and 28. Cleveland is now leading the AL Central at 44-36, followed by Minnesota at 35 and 43. Houston's at 55 and 29. Seattle 52 and 52 wins, 31 losses. That's the AL. So your top teams again: Yankees, Boston, Cleveland, Houston are all right there with Seattle right on the cusp there. So
that American League Central's kind of weak, isn't it?
A little weak.
You got Minnesota in second, and they're 8 games under 500.
Yeah, and 8 games out of first.
Yeah. So, looks like Cleveland's going to walk away with that one. All right, Jake. Well, we're out of time, buddy.
I got to get to work.
You got to get to work just in time.
I'm gonna have a rough week this week.
You
Scotty.
are. It's going to be rough.
I tell you what, Teresa not being there, I'm on my own.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what to do.
Things are going to go south real quick. All right. I'd like to thank the listeners for tuning in. Next week, we're going to be at... Maybe
I wouldn't count on that.
Joe Ryan Country Financial. We don't know.
Maybe Jake's
supposedly we have
maybe.
some guests on the menu, but who knows? We just, I can tell you one thing. I'm going to be here. Lloyd's going to be here. Jim's going to be here.
I don't want to guarantee anything.
Jake,
there's a big softball tournament next week, and if I'm at the early game, I won't be here.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for IGA for having us. And thanks to the Cumberland Presbyterian Church ladies.
Good job.
For giving us a plate full of goodies.
Wow, that's true.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for listening to the Cheap Seats.
Good day.